Mayor of Osage Beach, Michael Harmison. And Mayor, first and foremost, wow, congratulations on all the exciting news and developments and meetings, and it is an exciting time for the city of Osage Beach.
It sure is, and it seems like for the last 2 months, every day of like, I can announce something next week, and I think we got everything announced as of now.
It's like 2 or 3 big things, bang, bang, bang.
Yes,
It has been a busy couple of weeks. We're gonna get right into it, and I was very confident in you and the city this was gonna happen, because people were worried about the outlet mall, but officially under contract, Gary Pruitt, group of investors. So you held true on your promise. You said, hey, it's going to happen. Can't tell you exactly when, but that mall is going to sell and officially under contract. So what can you tell us?
It is. Thank you so much. And keeping everything positive. I don't want to look back at what happened in the past because we were contacted by several different developers, and when I got involved, I finally just called the people at Simon and I said, what can I do as mayor? What can we do as a city? And they gave us some suggestions as far as putting together a package and go out and look for developers. And so we started that process. And then Gary contacted me, Gary Pruitt, and then we had talked for the last month or two. And I put him in contact with Simon. And Simon had made it very clear that they own the mall. They owe no money on it. And they're not going to be bullied into selling it for less than it's worth. And so some investors threw out lowball figures. So Gary came up with a figure. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't matter. It is under contract, and he, being from the lake, of course, everybody's saying we need family-oriented things, which we agree 100%. So your next question is going to be, what are they going to put there? I still don't know, but it is going to be some family-friendly recreation opportunities. They're going to bring some of the retail stores from the back, bring them towards the front, looking at dining, and he did mention a couple of things that he couldn't tell me yet that he's been talking to bring to town, and but it's big news.
And one thing that I think is great here is when you look at the outlet mall, so many people in the lake area, whether they've lived here their whole lives, they visited here and live here now, is they have fond memories that involve the outlet mall, and Gary Pruitt mimicked and rivaled those same sentiments and feelings. And so having a local involved, I think that kind of gives us a step up as far as understands why this is so crucial for this area and what really needs to come here. So my first question is not what they're going to put there, but have there already been discussions of a TIF or any of those things for the outlet mall?
No. He did mention that they'll be coming to the city latter part of the spring. The first thing that he had requested and we're putting together is a meeting of the city administrator, the city attorney, the city economic developer, myself, to try to get everything out of the way before he has to put up a bunch of money, because if they do come to the city asking for TIFs, they have to bear the financial responsibility of all the research that we do. So before that, he wants to have some talks about what he'd like to do. There's a TIF application that he'd need to go through. As you know, we had a big meeting last night, so our TIF policy is evolving. We're going to do some tweaks on it here and there, but I would not doubt that he probably does, but we've not been advised he will.
And I got to tell you, because there is misunderstanding and some people that just don't like that term, but you guys at the city are doing a very good job of laying out what exactly it is, what it's used for, and how the process works. So before we get into that in last night's meeting and a couple other things, if this news wasn't big enough, which we're waiting for the redevelopment plan or something presented to the city on the outlet mall by spring, which is like, wow, that's like right around the corner. And then we get more great news, one of the largest developments ever planned in the history of Lake Ozark, Oasis at Lakeport. We've already been waiting to see what's next. We're all excited about this amusement park. And if you haven't seen or heard it yet, I'm going to let you break the news, but this is massive.
It is. It's about a $360 million investment here at Lake of the Ozarks. You have Fred Ross, he's involved. You have Jeff Tagatoff, who's involved. Skyview, who's done the theme parks, the roller coasters, the big Ferris wheels. We're talking about a 200-foot Ferris wheel. I had actually somebody texted me this morning and said, oh, Branson's Ferris wheel is 150 feet high. And I said, oh, that's a cute little Ferris wheel.
You're right.
No, it jokes, but we are going to be the premium destination in the Midwest and the world for lakefront property. They had talked to Marriott, and I was involved in that meeting a couple of months ago. They were thinking about coming here, and yesterday they came out with the official press release that it's a 400-unit Marriott on the site. It's going to have restaurants and bars and pools and dining rooms. And Underneath the Marriott will be 200 parking spots for visitors, guests. Connected to that will be 1,000 parking space garage that'll be free to everyone.
So listen, you guys,
Yes.
that's one of the first questions, right?
Yes,
Is where are
yes.
these people going to park? 1,200 spots already in parking garages that'll be built underneath and vertically,
Correct.
meaning take up much less space.
Correct. And I believe they said last night the parking garages will be 2 units below, 2 lower levels, 3 above, something like that. There's going to be 200 boat slips.
Oh,
And
nice.
the nice thing about this, by land, by water, it's free, except if you want to participate on some of the rides. So you can literally drive there, park there, walk around, enjoy the view. But if you want to have a cold beer, if you want to go on a ride, they're also going to have wristbands that will be rechargeable. Or the kids are out there doing a ride, they can literally text their mom and say, hey, I need more money on my wristband. And mom she's having maybe a cocktail, and she can see them from a distance, so she can literally go online, put some more money in this wristband, and the young kid can go out and ride the ride.
So new age technology, which you see with a lot of these new, but that's not even the biggest part of this Marriott development, because there's also conference center space, 26,000 square foot conference center. But here's what I was blown away by, is this indoor water park, but I think that you could undersell it if you don't know exactly what we're talking about. So tell us about this open air, the ones constructing it, 50,000 square foot water park.
50,000 square foot water park, all sorts of rides. It's going to have a retractable roof on it, so open up during the night stay, so be able to enjoy it 12 months out of the year. Somebody commented, what about the other water parks? I think it's similar to Vegas. Vegas was started with one casino, and then here comes more people. We're talking about 50, half.
Be careful, Mayor. You don't want to call Lake Vegas. People be freaking out with all the casino
My
talk.
point of that is, you build it, they will come type theory.
Yeah.
And you get 500,000 new visitors to Lake of the Ozarks. They can't spend all their time at that water park. They're going to be staying around, and hopefully it'll be beneficial for all the water parks and all the restaurants and bars and that sort of thing. But yeah, 50,000 square foot water park attached to that. And then the rides themselves, it's just, and one thing I've been pushing for is, and we talked about it again last night, I keep telling all these people, is I really want to get a pedestrian bridge across Grand Glaze. And they've talked to DOT about that, and they're going to be doing some CIDs, the TDDs, tax increment things. And I said, well, we're doing this. Let's start looking at doing that pedestrian, because we could literally connect the two sides of the lake with a pedestrian bridge.
Yeah, so this is crazy. 50,000 square foot. What I couldn't get over is open air. The company, the developer, the business that's building this, they're involved in stadiums across America and the roofs that retracted. So they're really the leader in this, meaning if it's the weather's good, the weather's bad, you still got a water park. And this is something that I'm not sure, has there been one of these built before? This sounds pretty new age.
I don't know the answer to that, but I do know the exciting thing about it is the Osage Beach has typically been, 8-9 months out of the year. Well, this is going to be 12 months out of the year. The Ferris wheel is going to be heated and cooled, so they can ride it year-round. They're going to tier the rides down, so things down towards the lake will be seasonal. And then things towards the top, along with the water park, the Ferris wheel, that'll be towards the top, open 12 months out of the year.
That's way cool. Now, I want to ask you, I was looking at the comments, of course, and I know that change is scary for people. And I know that you're ready for a lot of these because you've been working on solutions to the problems people are bringing up already. So I just wanted to ask, when I look at this, some of the questions that I saw were a TIF. A lot of people don't like that, and I know you guys are educating us on exactly what that is. But to the people that say, why not bring your own money? Where are these people going to live? And what's the parking and driving situation going to be off of that exit? So those were 3 concerns that were listed over and over. So to those people, what do you guys say?
Several things. First and foremost, the TIF. We've been very proactive ever since last April, that educating the community. We've had open meetings, and we brought people in, developers. Anybody has a problem with TIFs, just TIF 101, not about them all, not about this one, just in general. Developers by far came to that meeting and said, here's why you need to bring developers here. We had a few people had some concerns. We have a very good city planner, we projected the fact that we can take care of the sewage, we can take care of the water. Take a top development group, they're doing road studies, they're working with the DOT, they're working with Ameren to make sure traffic flow, whether it needs a roundabout, a new exit, they're being very proactive with that. But they're even looking at now, you think, once they break ground on the theme park, for lack of a better word, They're talking about 12 to 14 months.
Well, it's looked like by the beginning of this summer that the site construction is going to begin, and it looked like the parking garage and the development open next summer of 24. Like these people, they're moving quick.
They are real quick, and they've been on the ball. We have a pretty aggressive timeline, but there's still a process with the city. Last night was a TIF. We brought in the public, but it was to educate the TIF members. The last time we did a TIF, we literally had some people on the TIF during their meeting that they were supposed to be voting. They didn't know they were voting. And so what I said months ago, we're gonna see lots of this coming down the pipe more and more and more. So we did an educational session for the TIF members. We brought in the developers, we brought in our attorneys, and we opened it up to the public. And City Hall was pretty full. It wasn't question and answer for the city last night, but just telling the board what the responsibilities are. The TIF commission is 11 taxing identities. It has, I appoint some, we have an alderman on there. Once the next meeting, that'll be the hearing. That's where the TIF can answer questions, the public can speak, all their concerns, and then the TIF commission will vote, and they will move that forward to the alderman. If they have a majority of vote, then it goes to the alderman. And if everything plays out the way we think it will, you're looking at the first meeting in April for a vote from the alderman, and if that's the case, then it's approved.
Okay, and so obviously the TIF, I love that you guys are being so transparent and helping people understand, because there is ignorance, if you will, just lack of knowledge when it comes to that. But the other one I want to touch on real quick, and we're really low on time, is where are these people going to live?
Well, that's a great question too. I mean, obviously we're not ducking that question, but it's just, we were talking a little bit off air too, is we have 12, 14 million people coming down here every year. You cannot stop progress by fear of not finding employees. The whole, you build it, they will come. Same thing, we talk too. I mean, if somebody's paying somebody $16 an hour, we can't get people. We'll charge $18 an hour. Now the community will see more for the rides, but you take the Quaker up in Eldon. They've got 500 employees. They're looking for 1,000, and they can get employees. You treat them right, you pay them right. They will see some seasonal workers. You'll need more. The 12-monthers, you'll see more, but it comes right down to how you treat them, how you pay them, and we're right now, the city of Osage Beach, we're building 268 units of apartments complexes down in Sycamore. We've got another 48 down here, so over 10% increase in housing in 1 year.
Awesome. Fantastic. So you are addressing the issue. Now, before you go, real quick, election coming up Tuesday.
Yes.
Something really big for the city of Osage Beach. There's a 3% proposed marijuana tax. Talk about that.
Real quick, and to just get out and vote, folks. I mean, if you can't complain unless you don't vote. You just can't. I can't say that over and over and over. But the marijuana tax, the Amendment 3, my feeling on it is vote for it. That says Michael Harmison, not as the city saying so. And the reason is this. Right now, for one, we've earmarked ambulance services, police, parks, and recreation. Last year, the city of Osage Beach wrote off more than $200,000 for our ambulance services.
Wow.
We have to provide ambulance services. If somebody goes to the hospital, they can't pay, you attempt to collect, you write it off. Last year was over $200,000. When the Amendment 3 people wrote this amendment, they gave the cities the opportunity to vote an additional 3% to go towards whatever we choose. That's what we've earmarked it for. My feeling is this: they sold Amendment 3, and with selling, they make it look good. They put the 3% in there to sell it, so why not take advantage of it?
Right.
I'm not saying I'm for or against medical or recreational marijuana. They put it in there. So it's a way for taxpayers. If you'd like to see 200,000+ of your money thrown away, or if you'd like to see that 3% that they gave us the opportunity to charge, pass it. Let's put that towards ambulance
It's a
services.
no-brainer. Regardless of how you feel about recreational marijuana or not, it's passed. It's going to be sold. It's going to be sold in the city limits of Osage Beach. Allow this 3% to go to parks, police, and the ambulance district by voting yes on Tuesday. But like the mayor said, regardless, get out and vote this Tuesday. It is an important election.